Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today, we take a look at a discontinued model from Victorinox, the Divemaster 500 Automatic. But first, I would like to thank Silvertime Watchstore for supplying this model, and if you want to check them out, you can click on the link in the description. When I did a review of my first Victorinox, the Inox, about a year and a half ago, I went into that review with the assumption I won't like the watch, and thought my review will conclude with me saying they should stick to Swiss Army knives. But to my surprise, I actually liked that watch quite a lot. It was built like a tank, had a nicely shaped case that sat well on the wrist despite the large size, and most importantly, it was a handsome and original looking watch. The Inox has become a defining model for Victorinox, so they introduced a mechanical version as well, and also a diver model that came with a rotating bezel. Sadly, the introduction of the Inox diver meant the end of the Divemaster line that this belongs to. I say sadly because I still find this to be a better dive watch than Inox, and here's why. Although the cases are almost identical, this has a much easier to operate bezel with these huge cutouts instead of the Omega 300 styled bevels used on the Inox. The bezel itself has very precise 120 clicks and lines up perfectly, while the first 20 minutes are loomed for easy use in the dark. Then the dial and hands. Although they changed the dial on the Inox diver compared to the regular Inox, giving it larger and fully loomed markers for better readability, they sadly left the standard thin hands that, to me, belong more on regular sports watches rather than a diver. This, on the other hand, has the hands to match the dial. With broad sword shape and an ample amount of loom, these are easily readable and easily distinguished from each other in pretty much any situation, while still being original in design. The fact that they're properly long, reaching to their designated markers, is a bonus. I can say I find these hands much better than the Inox ones, and find that these are more appropriate for a dive watch. The dial itself has multiple layers and multiple finishes to stop it from being boring, but still has a lot of contrast and adequately sized markers to make it very legible. I like it, and it is well proportioned to the rest of the watch. And finally, the movement. Although Inox is offered in both quartz and automatic, the Inox diver comes as a quartz only, which makes sense as quartz is much more robust. But most of the iconic dive watches have mechanical movements, and most watch people prefer an automatic diver, which is what this is. Powered by the ETA 2892, a more premium movement than the 2824, it beats at 28,800 bph, comes with hacking and hand winding, and in this case, a date complication. Despite the whopping 500 meters of water resistance, the movement is still visible through the clear caseback. It is no horological wonder, but it is nice to look at. I especially like the simple, utilitarian decoration instead of the usual perlage we're used to seeing. It just goes better with the spirit of the watch. The case on this thing is quite large, but just like the Inox I reviewed, shaped in a way that makes it sit on the wrist comfortably. With 43mm in diameter and a whopping 53mm lug-to-lug, I expected it to look ridiculous on my 6.8-inch wrist. But the watch hides its size well and actually looks okay. This variant is supplied with a great quality and thick rubber strap that manages to balance the heavy watch head quite well, but at times it will feel slightly top-heavy. There was a bracelet version available as well, and I think that one would probably feel better balanced, but I never had the opportunity to try one on, so I can't confirm that. All in all, I really like this watch a lot, just as I like the Inox I reviewed. It is a well-balanced, easily readable, and handsome watch that I think Victorinox shouldn't have discontinued. These used to retail for $12.50, and you can still find them today when they pop up online. If that is too much to swallow, there was also a quartz-powered version that costed less than half of this. Luckily, whichever version you end up getting, you will get a great quality hunk of steel with tried and tested movements that will serve you reliably for years to come. Well, that completes this week's review, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.